Happy Purple Monday, everyone. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Rockies in last place in the NL West. They're bringing in the 4th place Arizona Diamondbacks to Coors Field for a series to start the week. D-backs 43-47, Rockies 40-49 as the homestand continues. On the hill today is John Gray. Pretty good start his last time out. This is his 14th of the year. 2-7 his record, 5.61 ERA. Did spend some time with AAA Albuquerque to work on things. 69 innings, 69 hits, 63 strikeouts. We'll hope he can achieve 69 or more strikeouts after today's outing. And the first batter he will face for Arizona is Tim LeCastro. 10 RBI, 10 stolen bases, only hitting 166 on the year. Very speedy. One of the speediest runners in all of baseball is Tim LeCastro. First pitch from Gray is right in there for a called strike. Simulated transactions. Chichi Gonzalez was optioned to AAA ahead of this game with Joe Harvey being called up. Harvey had a brief cup of coffee in the majors earlier this year. Really struggled, only 8 2/3 innings, a very small sample, but an ERA up into the 4 digits, and 13.50 was his earned run average. A lot better at AAA, though, under 2 for Albuquerque, so Rockies will see if he's worked on some things. Chichi Gonzalez just not having a whole lot of consistency this year. There's a swing and a miss by LeCastro. 62 degrees, cloudy skies, some very isolated showers around the ballpark this evening, not a whole lot of wind to speak of. Certainly, if there were to be a rain shower traverse the area, it would not amount to a whole lot of anything. Don't expect any stoppages of play, and that's swung on and missed. Gray picks up a strikeout for his first out of the game, gets Tim LeCastro.
Batting second, the shortstop, Nick Ahmed.
Rockies seeing the D-backs at Coors Field for the second time this year. Have also gone to Chase Field a couple times. Here's Nick Ahmed. 2-14 on the year with 1 home run. First pitch misses low and away, ball 1. This is the first time we have seen Nick Ahmed this year facing the Rockies. Both of the times when we first went to Arizona, he was on the injured list. Then a separate injury, he was on the injured list last time the D-backs came to Coors Field. So first time we get to see Ahmed in 2020. Batting 2-14 on his season in which he's missed quite a bit of time. 2-0 pitch is going to miss low and away. Now it's 3-0. Ketel Marte is waiting on deck. And that's in there for a called strike. 97-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Gray. This is Ben Kuchner-Kavich of Purple Row along with you. I want to let you know this broadcast is not affiliated with Major League Baseball, MLB The Show 20, or the Colorado Rockies. One out walk to Nick Ahmed, and that'll put a runner on for Ketel Marte against John Gray. Marte hitting 264 on the year. One of the 2 outfielders named Marte for the Diamondbacks. They also acquired Starling Marte from the Pittsburgh Pirates very late in the offseason. Pirates made no secret of their desire to shed some salary and shed some players. Marte, pretty good numbers in his career against Gray. 6 hits and 16 at-bats. That's a .375 batting average. And the 0-1 is swung on and lined into left field, a base hit. And 2 men aboard now against John Gray. Here's Eduardo Escobar, third baseman, batting .252 this season. He swings and misses, runners in motion, and the throw down to third got him. Elias Diaz throws out Nick Ahmed. Marte moving up to second base, and that pitch is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 15 doubles on the year for Escobar. That is 3rd place on the D-backs. See, what is the third? I don't know who the 3rd place guy on the Rockies is, but I know they're up over 20. Rockies leading the National League, leading the Major League in doubles by a pretty significant margin. David Dahl, of course, with his 36 doubles. leads the NL, and he's getting the day off today. Quite a few days off today against the lefty Bumgarner, who's on the hill for the D-backs. Murphy getting the day off, Dahl, Hampson as well. There's a ground ball hit weakly towards first base. Gray will tag the runner, and that will retire the side. Couple base runners, but no problem for John Gray. We go to the bottom half of the first. Story, Tapia, Arenado due up. Madison Bumgarner's already started a couple times against the Rockies this year. He's putting up a pretty good inaugural campaign with the D-backs. 19 start, 9-4 record, 2.97 his ERA, 121 in the third innings, 100 strikeouts against 29 walks. Not a whole lot of base runners given how much he's pitched. And Trevor Story is going to be the first batter he faces, leading off today. He's also leading the simulated All-Star voting for National League shortstops. Story batting .261, 23 home runs, 55 runs batted in. 10 stolen bases, the same amount as Tim LeCastro. Story, of course, gets a little bit more playing time than LeCastro does, and he can certainly hit enough to justify that increased playing time. LeCastro, one of the fastest runners in all of baseball, does not do a whole lot with the bat, though. The Rockies have certainly seen him hurt them at times. Pitch misses, high ball one from Bumgarner to Story. So Rockies still seeing a whole lot of Bumgarner. Left the Giants in free agency after the 2019 season, but then signed with the D-backs, so he will still be a thorn in the Rockies side, no doubt. 1-0 pitch to Story is swung on and missed. It's a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Bumgarner. Not a whole lot of velocity to speak of these days from Mad Bum. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and ripped towards left field, and it's going to land foul. Story thought he might have got that one out of here, but did hook it foul. 1-2 pitch from Bumgarner is swung on and chopped foul. We'll do it again. And 1-2 pitch to Story, swung on and grounded to short. That is out number one. Here's a look at the Rockies lineup after the shortstop. Story batting second, center fielder Raimel Tapia batting third at third base, Nolan Arenado batting cleanup in right field, Matt Kemp batting fifth, the second baseman Ryan McMahon batting sixth, the catcher Elias Diaz batting seventh, in left field Brian Mundell batting eighth. At first base is Josh Fuentes. John Gray, starting pitcher, bats ninth. Raimel Tapia getting his first start since his contract was reselected, only batting .153 this year, hoping second time is the charm. Game time temperature 82 degrees here in Denver at Coors Field. There's a swing and a high fly ball towards left field, and that will be out number two.
Batting third, the third baseman,
Nolan Arenado will come to the plate. Batting .337 on the year, 26 home runs. Now he's in second place, though. He was leading the league for quite some time with those homers. Eugenio Suarez recently hit his 27th. Ryan McMahon with 23 home runs is still in third place. Nolan Arenado's .413 on-base percentage also tied for fourth in the National League. First pitch from Bumgarner to Arenado is just a bit outside, ball one. Arenado, as we know and have come to know very well, has spent every single year of his career with the Colorado Rockies, and hopefully it will stay that way. There's a ground ball hit up the middle into center field, a base hit. 2-out single for Nolan Arenado. And Matt Kemp will come to the plate with a runner aboard. Kemp, in Sunday's ball game, hit his first home run as a Rocky in a pretty decisive loss. But still, it's good to see for Kemp. The swing and a ground ball hit towards short. And that will be an easy out, number three. We are through an inning of play. Scoreless ball game. Calhoun, Crone, Kelly due up. Cole Calhoun batting .168 on the year. Bit of a rough start to his time in a Diamondbacks uniform. 168, 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Signed a relatively low-risk, high-reward deal this offseason. First pitch from Gray is taken low and away, ball 1. Pull shift on, Ryan McMahon playing into the outfield grass with Cole Calhoun, the lefty, at the plate. Gray into his motion windup, and the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. It's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Good velocity today from Gray. And swung on and missed for strike 2. Another 98-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. We'll see what Gray has cooking on the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and fouled off. Slider that time from Gray. And Calhoun able to get a piece of it. 1-2 is swung on and fouled weakly the other way. Calhoun, a member of the Los Angeles Angels, the previous every year of his career prior to signing with Arizona, which misses outside. Count evens at 2. And Gray kicks and fires. Swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. 99-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Gray. His second strikeout of the ball game.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Crone.
And here is Kevin Crone. This is his first game this year. Takes the pitch low and away. Was just called up by the D-backs. Lots of power in Crone's bat. And the 1-0 delivery is inside corner for a strike. Crone was the 14th round pick in the 2014 draft by these Diamondbacks. And he swings and skies one towards center field, coming in as Tapia. He'll put it away, and there's 2 gone. Well, Rockies have been starting their workouts at Coors Field, not simulated Coors Field, real Coors Field, in real life. Wow, we're looking at baseball maybe coming back pretty soon here. And we'll get word, hopefully, in the near future about schedule and potential exhibition games the Rockies play in. Rockies have also made a lot of players available to the media via Zoom conferences over the past several days or so. Trevor Story talked to the media on Saturday, and he had a lot of really interesting things to say about racial injustice in America. This is something you can tell has really struck a chord with Story by how he has really spoke out about it. Of course, after the death of George Floyd, there's been a lot of protests across America, and a lot of Major League Baseball players have decided to raise their voices. Trevor Story has been one of them. So has Matt Kemp, by the way. He's the newest member of the Rockies. But Story said what we're going through as a country, and not just related to racial injustice, but also to the coronavirus pandemic. Story said, you realize sports and baseball, your job is not as important as you probably think it is. It's tough to feel that, but you look back at it. Story says he wants to be a person that helps and changes for the better, and not just kind of takes things for granted and doesn't give back or leave it better than he was when he leaves. Always a work in progress, Story says. And this is Thomas Harding of MLB.com had a good article summarizing what Story had to say about all of his thoughts. But he has vowed on several occasions to be more forceful of a leader in all aspects related to the game as Kevin Crone draws a walk, and that came after the Rockies struggled last season. Story says he wants to be vocal when he needs to be, direct even when quiet, all while continuing to set an example with his actions. But after the murder of George Floyd, Story felt a higher calling and said he could no longer live in whatever comfort zones his life had given him. And he admitted that talking about such issues is not comfortable, but everyone must confront them. Story said after George Floyd's murder, that's all he could think about for days and days, and he still thinks about it. He's trying to figure out a way to word it, to express his feelings, but it's really tough. Story was born in Irving, Texas. His father, Ken, had a lengthy career as a firefighter in Irving before he retired in 2016. Just swinging a pop-up. I want to tell you more about this story. That'll be coming up in the bottom of the second inning, though, as Tapia puts this one away. Talk more about what has led Story to this moment in the bottom of the second inning. McMahon, Diaz, and Mundell due up. Ryan McMahon leads off the bottom of the second inning. 246 his average, 23 home runs, 52 runs batting in. Continuing to check out Thomas Harding's writing about Trevor Story and how he is dealing with a lot of issues that are facing our country today. So again, his upbringing in Irving, father was a firefighter, and his father Ken drove the truck and often arrived on someone's worst possible day. Meanwhile, Trevor Story's mother, Teddy, is the CEO of Irving Cares, a nonprofit food charity, and Trevor and his brother Tyler would hang out at the firehouse and volunteer with his mom's charity before they even understood how important it was. Also, public schools in the Dallas area's diverse baseball scene meant Story wasn't cocooned. He was a longtime teammate and friend of Josh Bell of the Pirates, who has also really been vocal about pushing for social justice. But Story said pretty much every school he went to, whites were the minority. And he says he could almost feel with the community that way. He knows how special people come from that community, and he wants equal treatment for everyone. And it doesn't really feel that way right now. Of course, Story's careful to mention that it's not to say that he knows the way that black people feel in America, or have been put in their shoes at all, but he says he feels that he needed to speak up in that sense. It was bothering him. He read a column that Joey Votto, Reds first baseman, put in, I believe, the Cincinnati Enquirer. Yeah, he wrote a column for them saying that he was losing sleep over the whole situation. And Story's like, that's exactly the way I felt. I couldn't sleep well at all. And again, Matt Kemp on Saturday relayed a post on Twitter from the Players Alliance amplifying a Frederick Douglass quote from his famous 1852 speech, "What to the slave is the 4th of July?" And Kemp posted a hateful and profane message he had received in response to what Kemp wrote. So there's certainly some opposition and to everything that's going on right now. As for COVID-19, Story said it's been rough over the past week in Texas, and quite frankly, he said it's been scary. You want to get past coronavirus as quickly as possible, but it hasn't been easy. The main goal here is everybody needs to be wearing their masks to be safe. And as Story says, that's the least people can do to protect each other. Diaz swings and misses. That is out number 2. And then we go to baseball and wanting to be a veteran presence in that way. And who can be vocal leaders? Story says, Arenado, Blackman, Murphy are all going to be that along with him. So will Ian Desmond. He'll continue to be a voice, even though he has opted out of the season. Story says, helping the Rockies succeed, they have to set the tone in that sense. Every single day is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but guys are going to be looking to those guys. And that's what happens when you challenge your teammates. Story says you're putting your neck out there. Mundell, 9 for his last 25 at the plate. That dates back to his time with AAA before being called up. 2-0 pitch from Bumgarner is on the inside part of the inside corner. Mundell has shown a very good eye at the plate in his brief major league action. Only hitting 200, a very small sample from which to speak of, just a few games here and there. But he has shown he's not going to waste any at-bats. Swung on and fouled out of play. Count evens at 2. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed to get him on strikes. Bumgarner strikes out the side here in the second. And we go to the third inning, scoreless ballgame, Rockies and D-backs. John Gray will be tasked with trying to match Bumgarner pitch for pitch, I feel, in today's game. third inning, Bumgarner, one of the better hitting pitchers in all of baseball, leads off. Batting .211 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. I think that's actually a little bit under what we kind of expect from him. Kyle Freeland, for example, is hitting much better than Bumgarner. And Bumgarner also has as many home runs as Chichi Gonzalez, who was optioned to AAA prior to today's game. There's a check swing and a pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned when we talked about Trevor's story that the Rockies have made a lot of players available to the media via Zoom conference. Another one was Scott Oberg, who also spoke to reporters, including Thomas Harding of MLB.com. And Oberg, he understands better than anyone that the aging or the unhealthy don't have a monopoly on pre-existing conditions. His health challenges put him in, keep him on his toes a little bit more. Back in his sophomore year when he was playing for the University of Connecticut, Oberg suffered from psoriatic arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. For 6 months, he had extreme swelling in his toes, and he couldn't get dressed in the morning without first moving around his apartment. He needed a cane to walk to classes until he and his doctors arrived at the medication that keeps it under control today. And twice, in 2016 and last August, you remember last August, Oberg's season had to end sooner than it should have. He had to go undergo surgery for blood clots in his throwing arm. And last year's surgery came after he had taken over the closer role from Wade Davis, who was struggling. Oberg had a great year, though. He's had a few years, and finished with a 2.25 ERA last year when healthy, and of course is now in the closer role in the Purple Rose Sim. We'll see. I think it'll be Wade Davis to start for the Major League club this year, though. Over the last 2 seasons, Oberg has averaged a strikeout per inning, and he actually has the second best ERA plus, which is earned run average normalized for league average, and that's only behind Kirby Yates of the Padres, really good closer for San Diego, and that is among Major League relievers with at least 100 innings. So back on Saturday, Oberg worked out with a small group at Metropolitan State University of Denver. I still get emails from them, by the way, from applying there, but anyway. Most of the team worked out at Coors Field, but Oberg, getting to that point took some assurance to make sure playing was safe. Oberg said there's a debate in his mind. He reached out to his rheumatologist's office in Philadelphia. They had a pretty lengthy discussion. It did kind of put his mind at ease in terms of the effect that it could have. His doctor didn't really seem to allude to any adverse effects of the situation he's in if he were to contract the virus itself. And his doctor was fairly confident that being in his age group, Oberg's age group, his activity level, even his blood type, some other outside factors, that if he were to contract the virus, he would still be in a good spot. And of course, it's by no means foolproof or anything like that based on blood type, but there is actually, I forget what type of blood. I did see a report, though, that you are less susceptible to it with a certain blood type. The swing and a foul out of play. So Oberg said it's a matter of sticking to the protocols that are in place and kind of holding himself to a higher standard. Oberg is 30 years old, says he always wears a mask in public. Good job, Scott. And he spent the shutdown at his home in Sewell, New Jersey with his wife, Diana, who is a nurse practitioner. It's always good to have in the family. And his daughter, Charlotte Rose. She turns 2 coming up in about a month now. But the Obergs were very fortunate that their county, just outside Philadelphia, was not hit as hard as the rest of New Jersey, but they still had a plan and they had time together. Oberg said the staying healthy part, at least in terms of staying away from the virus, that was fairly easy. And he wanted to give a shout-out to his wife, a good guy that Scott Oberg is, for how she went out of her way to really make sure that she took care of everything outside of the house. And as Oberg said, she did an unbelievable job of protecting him, protecting their daughter. He said he can't say enough about what she had done over the last 3 or 4 months. As for how Oberg was able to stay in shape, he said he was able to get himself a net, some weight room equipment, and keep everything at the house. He already had a mound at his house from a few years back. Also some land behind one of his neighbor's houses, and he was able to throw into the net. He was able to get some workouts in, and his wife took care of the rest. Now, Oberg said it's nice, actually, and kind of a unique situation in the sense that As for the Rockies, they actually get to practice in their home ballpark at home altitude, really, for the first time. That swung on and grounded into center field, a base hit. After normal spring training in Arizona, Rockies usually start on the road for a week. Then they get hit in the face by the altitude a little bit when they come back home. But having these 3 weeks is actually going to be really beneficial for a pitcher. And that is a very good point by Scott Ober that I actually had not really considered all that much. There's a strike to Eduardo Escobar, 0-1. So maybe that's something to look forward to in the future, potentially spring training at home ballparks, though. Yeah, maybe not, given how the weather conditions can be at Coors Field. Maybe a little bit of split time, though. I know everybody likes going out to Salt River Field at Talking Stick, and that is a beautiful ballpark. Yeah, lots of teams, especially starting in late February, teams like Detroit, Cleveland, Milwaukee, not sure. Well, Milwaukee has a roof, dome. Minnesota, there you go. Those are not necessarily places in late February you want to start playing baseball at. But, you know, Rockies are a team that especially are advantaged by getting as much action as they can at their home ballpark as possible prior to the beginning of the season, getting adjusted to the altitude. 3-1 the count on Escobar with Cole Calhoun waiting on deck. Gray kicks and deals. That one's low. Ball 4. He walked him. Bases loaded with 2 outs now for Cole Calhoun. Strikeout victim his first time up. That was just an inning ago. And that swung on and ripped in the air towards right field. Going back on this one is Kemp, and he's going to look up. It's off the wall. This may score 3 runs, and it will. That is a bases-clearing double for Cole Calhoun, and the Diamondbacks take a 3-0 lead here in the third.
The first baseman, Crone.
So, Calhoun on second base now. Kevin Crone will bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And he takes first pitch strike on the inside corner. Crone 0 for 1, flied out his first time up. This is first at bat of the 2020 campaign. Pitch misses low and away. Pretty good outings at AAA for Kevin Crone. Had 6 RBI in his last 7 games there. 1-1 from Gray is swung on and grounded into right field, a base hit. Calhoun will be held at third, and there are runners on the corners, still 2 outs now, as Gray is laboring a little bit here in the third inning. Bring up Carson Kelly, catcher. Drew a walk in his first plate appearance. Jeff Hoffman is getting loose in the Rockies bullpen. I think Bud Black and John Gray and Jeff Hoffman all would have hoped it didn't have to happen this early. Gray could be in position if he gets a quick out here, and then a quick few outs in the 4th inning. Still could make it a quality start. But we will have to see how this next batter starts things off, and it's fouled out of play. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Not a whole lot of strikes in this whopping 30-pitch inning. Top of the 3rd inning for Gray. Little over half have been strikes. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Kelly. 96-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Gray. In the dirt. That one is going to bounce away from Diaz. It'll be a wild pitch. Calhoun stays at third. Runners move up, though. Runner moves up to second, I should say, Kevin Crone. Here comes pitch number 69 of the day for John Gray, and it swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. Big bases clearing double for Cole Calhoun has put the Diamondbacks on the board. They lead at 3-0 with the 8-9 hitters due up for the Rockies in the bottom of the third. Here's Josh Fuentes. He hasn't got a start in a while. He's getting in there today against the lefty Bumgarner, batting 167 on the year. Daniel Murphy hits much better against righties. He'd been on such a hot stretch lately that he'd been starting against both lefties and righties. Actually raised that batting average against southpaws a little bit, did Murphy. Still, Rockies would like to get Josh Fuentes some time here and there. Pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fuentes only hitting 167. And some of that may be due to a lack of playing time. We saw Garrett Hampson and Sam Hilliard, for example, get off to very slow starts, but got a lot better as their playing time increased. 1-1 from Bumgarner is inside. Hitters count now on Josh Fuentes, who, if you somehow did not know, I know we've had a shelter in place, so perhaps you've tuned out of any information, but Fuentes is the cousin of Nolan Arenado. There's a swing and a ground ball hit towards first base, knocked down by Crone, and picks it up, flips towards Bumgarner covering. There's 1 away. Here is John Gray now, hitting a paltry .053 on the season. Of course, the batting average is not what he gets paid for. Any hits, any offense, he can provide an added bonus. There's a strike on the inside corner. Of course, we will not get to see any Rockies pitchers bat, barring some sort of extreme extra inning situation in the real upcoming season, as there will be a universal designated hitter. Bumgarner's 0-2 to John Gray is swung on and grounded into left field. A base hit. Oh, Bumgarner, take that. Finally, an opposing pitcher gets a hit off of you. And Gray will keep the line moving now as the lineup turns over for shortstop Trevor Story. Story grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1, slash on the year 260, 324, 557. Very good power numbers this year for Story. A couple days ago on Saturday, he had a couple home runs. That was all the Rockies needed to win that game. That's the Giants. Ended up losing 2 of 3 to San Francisco, did the Rockies. There's a pitch right in there for a called strike. Story has 11 hits and 45 at-bats in his career against Bumgarner. There's only a .244 average, but 5 of those hits are home runs. So it's not like he has not been able to pick up the ball out of Bumgarner's hand. The 0-1 is inside, ball 1. 92 mile an hour, nice and easy from Bumgarner. John Gray on first base, he's there with 1 out. After his 1 out single. And check swing at a pitch down and in. Hitters count now on Trevor Story. One's low, 3 balls and a strike. Raimel Tapia waiting on deck. This could potentially be an opportunity for the Rockies to break through. It'd be a very advantageous time right after the D-backs push across their first runs of the game in the top half of this inning. 3-1 is called a strike of the knees. Story not so sure. Count goes full. Saw Antonio Senzatella in the dugout there. Senzatella back in the rotation now. Looks like he'll be getting some more opportunities to start after pitching very well in long relief. Payoff pitch to Story is swung on and chopped foul at the plate. Story doing what he can to stay alive. Full count continues. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. Good-looking changeup from Bumgarner that time. That's his 4th strikeout of the game. Struck out the side in the second. Here's Raimel Tapia. He's 0 for 1 flied out in the first inning. And Dinger is getting excited. He says, Raimel Tapia, It's about time you got a hit. Tapia, lefty on lefty matchup, not the easiest for him. That swung on and fouled out of play. Coming up in the fourth inning, we'll give you our latest update on news from around Rockies camp, including what's the latest on Charlie Blackmon, who's out with coronavirus at this time. There's a swing and a foul out of play. I would think when Blackmon returns, if he returns while the simulation is still going, I don't know how many more of these we'll have. I think Tapia may be the one to go unless he really gets the numbers cranking here. There's a swing and a fly ball towards shallow left field, and that will retire the side. 3 innings have come and gone. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks.
Leading off for Arizona.
Josh Rojas flied out his first time up in the second inning. He leads off the top of the fourth. John Gray looking for a quick inning. His first pitch is on the inside corner for a called strike. Rojas, former member, farmhand for the Houston Astros, acquired last year by the D-backs. The 0-1 is going to miss high and away, ball one. Rockies players came in waves to Coors Field over the weekend with the precautions in place to avoid crowding of players. Again, this information comes from Thomas Harding of MLB.com, our one-stop shop for all Rockies news. So it was a workout test run Friday, and summer camp officially opened up on Saturday. Team using home and visiting clubhouses, which are quite spacious, plus an auxiliary dressing room to keep players apart. Black said that on Saturday they hit the field in 3 waves of players. Pitchers came out first, and they had a group of position players. Then they had another group of position players. Very informal but organized workout. Black said teams are really doing basically the same thing. He doesn't think there's any sort of secrets to how the training is going. There's a ground ball to first base. Fuentes fires to second, and they're not going to get him. Fires back to first, and not going to get Bumgarner. There's a couple runners on now. 75 pitches for Gray. Anyway, Black said most of the things that the Rockies are doing in terms of creativity is coming internally. And actually, they're getting some great input from the players and what they need. Players usually they're used to 6 weeks and even more if guys get down to Scottsdale early. So this is a little different program for them. They're sort of intersecting with the players as well, getting their feedback on what they need. Of course, there already was a bit of a ramp up, so he wants to go through the whole ramp up all over again. Blackmon is the only Rockies player who was not available when summer camp began Saturday, but Bud Black said he thinks Charlie will be ready and have time to prepare for outfield play by the time the regular season is ready to get underway. Black said that Marquez, Gray, Freeland, and Senzatella will be his 5-man rotation. Chichi Gonzalez and Jeff Hoffman are going to be kind of competing for that 5th spot. And he said the Rockies are going to be taking it a little slower with Peter Lambert, who came down with a right forearm strain in March. That's why you've not seen him appear in any of the Purple Rose Sim games. 2-2 pitch to LaCastro is swung on and popped up foul territory first base side. Fuentes will run it down. There's one away. Jack Wincoop, by the way, is going to make his simulated Major League debut tomorrow for the Rockies. We will bring you that game as well, Tuesday evening baseball at Coors Field. To see how Wincoop is doing. He's been doing quite well at AAA, ERA under 2. So we'll see if that can translate. But Black said he was really pleased with the pitching group and how they stayed in shape. And it was at the point where Marquez, Senzatella, and Freeland were able to throw live batting practice on a Sunday. Ground ball to first. Fuentes goes to second for one back to first. And double play. That is going to retire the side. That time Fuentes gets them both. Arenado, Kemp, and McMahon due up in the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Diamondbacks. Nolan Arenado leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. Got a base hit his first time up. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks. Black is starting to pencil in a number of guys for live BPs as the days move forward. You'll see that increase after guys get on the mound, get a side session, but that'll ramp up rather quickly, he said. And with a 30-man roster for the first 2 weeks of a 60-game regular season, he figures he could use pitchers who can go multiple innings, possibly starter types, out of the bullpen. As for not having any crowds at Coors Field or at other stadiums, Black said, you get some extra inning games, you get some rain delay restarts. There's usually not that many people in the stands anyway. Arenado will ground out for out number 1. You get to certain ballparks during certain times of the day. And, man, Nick Ahmed looks like he is holding his arm. This would be the 3rd time Ahmed would be placed on the injured list this year, and he does not look very good at all. He's going to have to be removed from this game, and as you can see, he could be shelved for quite some time. Nick Ahmed, what is going on this year? First time we've been able to see him appear against the Rockies this year, and unfortunately looks like another injury for the 3rd time this year here in July. Could be placed on the injured list. It'll be Domingo Leyba taking over at shortstop for him. And Matt Kemp will come to the plate. Grounded out his first time up. 2 for 9 to start his Rockies career. First pitch to Kemp is outside, ball 1.
1 ball, no strike.
So yeah, Bud Black was saying, sometimes there's already not a lot of people in the stands anyway. And he said guys are used to it to some extent, so they'll adapt. Players have a great ability to adjust to their surroundings, he said. He suspects that players will adjust rather quickly, knowing that these games are televised. There's probably a larger viewership than ever before, at least through TV, and knowing that these games are going to be reported on via the newspaper, the internet, TV, Fox, ESPN, MLB Network, other outlets. They know they're being watched. As for Matt Kemp, Black said that, he managed the 2015 Padres for 65 games before he was released, and Kemp was with that team at 265 with 23 home runs. Black said he'll have a greater conversation with, in greater depth, his talks with Kemp. They've already talked a little bit about some expectations, and his expectations line up with the Rockies, so that's great. But Black said they'll sit down, talk a little bit more about the role, potential, all those things that Black says he talks about with players, but he looked good when Black saw him moving around. He's in a great frame of mind, so that is certainly good to see. Here, Kemp swings and misses. That's out number 2. That's the 5th strikeout of the game for Madison Bumgarner.
The batter number 24, second baseman,
Ryan McMahon will step up to the dish. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Pitch number 50 coming from Madison Bumgarner. Swung on and fouled out of play. Pitch count looking in much better shape for Bumgarner than it is for Gray in this game. McMahon, a strikeout victim, his first time up, part of that 2nd inning in which Bumgarner struck out the side. That's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. McMahon went 1 for 4 with a double in yesterday's ball game. And he takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. That's inside, count evens.
2-2.
And 2-2 pitch. One is low. Full count now. Elias Diaz waiting on deck, hoping to get himself an opportunity before the 4th inning comes to a close. Payoff pitch to McMahon is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. And side retired. We're through 4 innings of play. It's 3-0 D-backs. Bumgarner is cruising today. Let's go to the 5th. Joe Harvey and Carlos Estevez both warming up in the Rockies bullpen. John Gray starts his 5th inning at 81 pitches. Joe Harvey again just called up. Marte, very good day so far, 2 for 2, couple base hits and a run scored. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. There is Harvey and Estevez, both warming up in the bullpen. Again, bit of a struggle at times when Harvey was called up to the big leagues, and I think the Rockies were looking to give him a little bit more time, but when Scott Oberg came back from the injured list, Harvey was the odd man out. See if he has figured things out after some very good numbers produced in AAA this year. Carlos Estevez warming up along with him. Pitch misses low and away, 3-0 now. Rockies hoping they don't have to use their long man, Jeff Hoffman. Eduardo Escobar is waiting on deck for the D-backs as the count is 3-0 on Ketel Marte. 5th inning means we'll check some scores around baseball. In the 8th inning, Braves lead the Pirates 8-1. Jose Ozuna with his 7th home run of the year is the lone RBI for Pittsburgh. Lots of offense today for Atlanta. Again, it's Monday, so that means, as usual, not a full schedule around the majors. .3-1 is swung on and grounded into left field, a base hit past the outstretched glove of Story. Leadoff single here in the top of the 5th. 4-1 Red Sox lead the Blue Jays there in the 8th. Kevin Biggio has hit his 4th home run of the year for the Blue Jays, their lone run. Alex Verdugo, home run number 8 for Boston. 5-3 Twins lead the Royals. Some AL Central action there in the 5th. Salvador Perez has hit his 11th home run of the year, and what is so far a losing cause for KC. Tigers have taken a 1-0 lead over the Angels there in the 2nd. It's a ground ball hit towards second base. 4, 6, and 3 double play. That's pretty big for John Gray. Orioles and Mariners are just underway in Seattle. We'll follow the latest on that one. We'll give you some updates coming up in the 8th inning when we do another check of the scores. With 2 outs, Cole Calhoun will be the batter. He's responsible for the RBIs today. Bases clearing double back in the 3rd against Gray is part of Calhoun's 1 for 2 day at the plate. First pitch here is taken for a strike. Calhoun now 3 for 5 in his career against Gray. A couple of hits have been doubles. He swings and fouls one off. Gray has topped out at 99 miles per hour with his velocity today, at 95 that time, as he just threw his 90th pitch of the ball game. And the 0-2 to Calhoun, swung on and missed, got him on strikes. Good looking changeup from Gray. And he's able to get through 5, just allowing 3 runs. Rockies offense needs to get it going, and Bumgarner has looked good today, so it'll be not an easy task. 3-0 Diamondbacks going to the bottom of the 5th. Rockies manager Bud Black talking things over with his pitching coach, who goes by the name of Steve Foster. Elias Diaz will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. Struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. He's back in the 2nd inning. Absolutely fantastic numbers against most lefties for Elias Diaz this season. He swings and fouls one out of play. Diaz is 7 for his last 13 at the plate. I'd say that's pretty good. .538 average. And the 0-1 from Bumgarner is taken down and in. Again, not a true platoon, but Butera playing against righties, Diaz against lefties has worked out quite well. Final score in Queens, Padres beat the Mets 5-2. Craig Stammen gets the win for San Diego. His first, Jeurys Familia the loss, his 3rd for the Metropolitans. 1-1 to Diaz is taken low. Jacob deGrom going 6 innings, striking out 9 in that game for the Mets. And the 2-1 from Bumgarner here is swung on and lifted in the air towards shallow left field. 1 away. We look at the team ERA leaders. Thankfully, we're used to looking at the trailers, in which the Rockies are usually responsible for the worst ERA in the NL. Nationals, Dodgers, Braves, and then the Diamondbacks, and then the Giants. So Padres and Rockies have been towards the bottom, even though Padres are pretty close to first place right now, just trailing the Dodgers by a game. Brian Mundell bats, takes first pitch strike. Mundell also scoring 5 runs in his last 4 games. Again, that includes time with the Isotopes. A 1 pitch is swung on and missed. Mundell quickly down 0-2, 40 of 61 pitches for strikes so far today from Madison Bumgarner, who has certainly been in cruise control much of this one. Here comes an 0-2, and it's swung on and chopped foul. That one's going to miss low, ball 1. One-two pitch from Bumgarner is again fouled off by Mundell. It's cued towards first base. Crone coming in, and he will make a shoestring catch on that little flare pop-up. Blooping liner, if you will. And there's 2 gone. Here's Josh Fuentes. He is 0 for 1, grounded out back in the 3rd inning. 163, 236, and a slugging percentage below 200. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch for Josh Fuentes. He takes a pitch for a strike from Bumgarner. Fuentes has a little bit of action against Bumgarner. 2 hits and 8 at-bats against him. That's going to miss outside, ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Swung on and chopped foul, 1-2 the count. Here comes pitch number 69 of the day for Madison Bumgarner, and it is high and tight. Count evens at 2.
Playing 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch. Low and away. Count goes full. John Gray is waiting on deck. I think we may very well see a pinch hitter for him if Fuentes reaches. And that's swung on and grounded to 3rd, so we won't have to worry about that question. Escobar throws across, and that'll retire the side. We're through 5 innings. It's 3-0 Diamondbacks. Carlos Estevez will take over on the hill, 43rd game of the year. 49 innings, 69 strikeouts, 12 walks. Getting much better after a few outings that were a bit shaky at times. Kevin Crone leads things off. He's 1 for 2 on the year and on the day. Base hit in the 3rd inning. This is his first game played in the majors in 2020. First pitch from Estevez is swung on and missed.
No ball, 1 strike.
So who do you think would be your go-to guy, if you had to pick a player on the Rockies, a go-to guy during the coronavirus? Well, how about Tony Wolters, who told Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post that Wolters is a special dude? John Gray told him that. That swung on and belted to deep right center field, and that ball is gone. Welcome to 2020 Kevin Crone. It's his first homer of the year in his first game. 436 feet off the bat, makes it 4-0 Diamondbacks. 107.4 mile per hour exit velocity for Kevin Crone. And very little doubt about that one off the bat. Joe Harvey again warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Jeff Hoffman also back up. Here's Carson Kelly. And he takes the pitch just a bit outside, ball 1. So yeah, catcher Tony Wolters, the glue keeping the Rockies together now more than ever, says Patrick Saunders. Wolters offered up his services, often at a moment's notice, when pitchers called him for a pitch and catch session. Playing catcher, as Saunders writes, one of the toughest, dirtiest, and sometimes most thankless jobs in sports. But you can bet Wolters is appreciated by his teammates. John Gray said Saturday during the after the first full-scale workout of summer camp, Tony was a blessing to be around during the shutdown. Such a positive guy who always does what he can to help pitchers out. Could be anything, and Tony would always be willing to help. And also relying on Walters, you had German Marquez, Jeff Hoffman, Wade Davis, Kyle Freeland. Walters says as a catcher, you're pretty used to that. At the same time, he's trying to keep himself healthy, but he was able to catch. He was able to talk about baseball with the guys as much as he could throughout the pandemic. So he felt like they had a pretty good thing going on in Arizona with the groups they had. Bullpen coach Darryl Scott owns a portable wooden pitching mound. It came in handy. Rockies loaded it into the back of their trucks and hauled it to a neighborhood park for some small group practice sessions. There's a swing and a miss as Estevez gets a strikeout for out number 1. Lots of protocols, though, that Walters and his teammates followed. As Walters said, make sure you clean off the mound, make sure you sanitize the gear. Walters understands that as a catcher, he could be more susceptible to the virus than players at other positions. So in addition to the body armor he wears behind the plate to ward off foul tips and wild pitches, he's seeking extra precautions against the invisible enemy. He said he's been testing out different masks that he can wear under his helmet. Of course, he says he doesn't want to get the virus, doesn't want to give it to his family or anything like that. A little more contact, given he's a catcher, touching the baseball all the time. Hitters coming up to the plate, umpires behind you, so that's definitely been in the back of his mind. But still, he's made a conscious choice to stay upbeat when the pandemic has turned the world upside down. Walters said he knows it can go both ways, so he took the positive route. But he's going to use it to his advantage. He's going to get strong. He's going to be more flexible. He's going to use this time to get his body even more ready than it was before. Estevez picks up his second strikeout, 2 down.
The pitcher, number 40, Madison Bumgarner.
On Friday, Bud Black said that players were maybe even in a little better shape than what the coaches and he thought they would be. So that's some good news. It's always good to be in better shape. Saw a picture of Pablo Sandoval getting some action in for the Giants, and about what you might expect. But Philip Deal and Ryan Castellani, according to Patrick Saunders, they're a couple of guys who tested positive for coronavirus, along with Charlie Blackmon, if you recall, and they're going to be ready right now to start pitching again. Blackman's the one who's just taking a little bit more time.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It was announced Friday that 31 players had tested positive for COVID-19 across baseball, 7 staff members. Kevin Crone hits a home run and extends the Diamondbacks lead to 4-0. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th.
Your attention, please.
David Dahl will pinch it for the pitcher's spot. Carlos Estevez was in there. That's how he's going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. 252, 10 home runs, 41 runs batted in. A bit of a cool stretch at the plate for Dahl. He gets on a lot of waves, it seems, this year. Has not hit a home run in a while. Wink, wink. He will face Madison Bumgarner after getting the majority of the beginning of today's game off. Pitch is swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. And that's going to be out number 1. Josh Rojas runs it down, and lineup will turn over now for Trevor Story, who is 0 for 2 on the day against Madison Bumgarner. Strikeout and a ground out for Story today. More from Bud Black about Matt Kemp, as he can tell everybody that Matt Kemp is excited to be a Rocky, super pumped to be with the organization and with this group of guys. Some renovations underway for some clubhouses. A number of teams, including the Boston Red Sox, have made renovations to their ballpark in order to accommodate players and provide social distancing due to the coronavirus. At Fenway Park, Red Sox converted a number of luxury suites into mini locker rooms, each room accommodating 2 players. Fenway opened in 1912, you know. This clubhouse is among the smallest in all of professional sports. No problem, of course, at Coors Field, as we told you earlier, both the home visitors clubhouse and the auxiliary area being utilized. Also home and visitors' weight rooms, bullpens, cages. They have a large media area for dressing, training, and meetings as well.
That's the ball. Down is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 4. Take your base.
Story draws a walk on base for the first time today with one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Also, if you go to the Denver Post, always recommended you keep in touch with your local media, especially during trying times like the coronavirus. Patrick Saunders has another good article about how Major League Baseball has a chance to lead during these troubling times. Raimel Tapia, the batter, he's 0 for 2. 4-0 Diamondbacks. Story's on first base after his walk. First pitch to Tapia is swung on and missed.
0-1.
Throw to first to drive back Story. He's in there. Another throw over. Story again back safely. Story really a 5-tool player when you talk about what he can do in terms of power. Can hit for average even though he hasn't done it in the simulation. Awesome defense. Great arm. Can really run the bases well. And he's running. Throw down is not in time. Story steals a base. Makes me look pretty smart with the statement I just made about how great of a base runner he is. Not the greatest of throws by Carson Kelly. Throw might have beat him, a better one. Runner in scoring position now. That takes the double play out of the equation. Raimel Tapia waiting on a 1-1. And it's swung on and fouled back to the screen. Swung on and fouled away. One more time. We'll do a 1-2. Bumgarner comes set. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded towards first base. And Crone will take it himself. There are 2 away. Story advances to third base.
Now batting, the third baseman, Nolan.
That'll bring up Nolan Arenado. A run for the Rockies is just 90 feet away. Arenado 1 for 2, base hit in the first inning. The Rockies have not been able to muster a whole lot of offense aside from that. First pitch here to Arenado is inside, ball 1. Arenado batting .349 with runners in scoring position. His overall batting average is nearly at that mark, .338 at this time. 1-0 from Bumgarner is swung on and grounded. Dropped by Escobar, fires to first, and still has time to get Arenado, and that will retire the side. We're through 6, 4-0 Diamondbacks.
Now pitching for the
Jeff Hoffman will take over on the hill, 69 in the third innings pitched, .545 ERA, 50 strikeouts, and his 26 walks. A little bit better as of late. You can see his batting average against righties has definitely come down some. First batter he will face is Tim LeCastro. Joe Harvey, Wade Davis up in the Rockies bullpen. Rockies offense just not able to get it going today.
LeCastro. Ball.
LeCastro 1 hit in 7 at bats in his career against Davis. Against Hoffman. Swinging a foul out of play. Kyle Newman had a pretty good article over at the Denver Post. Pretty good. It was a great article. And, you know, right now Rockies, not Rockies fans necessarily, but Colorado baseball fans in general are mourning the loss of a couple teams. LeCastro might get a triple out of this as Kemp's not able to cut this ball off. This is certainly going to be a triple for Tim LeCastro. Leading things off here in the 7th inning. Just the second triple this year for LeCastro.
Shortstop, Domingo.
Some trouble with it for Matt Kemp out there. He was able to get over and then, probably should have just been a double, but a triple in the books for LeCastro. And now runner on third with nobody out against Hoffman. Domingo Label will get his first at bat of this game. He's batting .283. Came in for Nick Ahmed, who had to leave due to an injury. Like a pretty gruesome one, I must say. And this will be the third time Ahmed goes on the IL this year. Again, this was the first time Rockies were able to see him play in 2020. Missing him in the first 4 series of the year as he's been out with injury. And now looks like might miss time again. There's a strike, 1-1. So yeah, teams like Grand Junction Rockies, Colorado Springs, Sky Sox, part of minor league baseball's proposed contraction ahead of 2021. Rocky Mountain Vibes as well. But they were not the first teams to play baseball, minor league baseball in Colorado. Remember the Denvers of the Western League in 1886. Western League was the first organized league that was affiliated with Major League Baseball or minor league baseball west of the Mississippi. The Denvers won the league championship in their very first season. They were formed a year after the city's first baseball stadium was built at Larimer and 32nd Street, close to Coors Field. They played at the Denver Baseball Park. This is baseball with 2 words. The Baseball Park, baseball. And in August of 1885, hosted a then record crowd of around 4,000 for an amateur game. And Rocky Mountain Vibes are the new name of the Colorado Springs Sky Sox, I should mention. Most memorable minor league team in Rockies history. There's a high fly ball towards right field. Kemp is going back. He is at the track, and he will make the catch up against the wall. That'll be plenty deep enough for LeCastro to come across to score. RBI sac fly from Marte, and it's 5-0 D-backs. The Denver Bears, or Zephyrs, during their minor league era from 1947 to 1992, they were the Bears, and then they became the Zephyrs. They ranged in Major League Baseball affiliation, and they combined to win a dozen championships in regular season play, plus 6 minor league postseason championships. It gave an initial glimpse into the inflated power and difficulty in pitching that professional baseball at mile-high elevation brings. So it will be very unfortunate that there could very well be no more minor league baseball in the state of Colorado. There's a foul out of play by Eduardo Escobar. He is down 0-2. Rockies offense has plenty of work to do. They will be looking forward to when not Jeff Hoffman, but Madison Bumgarner comes out of this ball game. Pitch count is getting up there. I don't think it'll be a complete game for Bumgarner. I mean, he might get a 7th and an 8th, though, depending on how hard the Rockies offense can make him work. And that pitch is outside. The count evens at 2 on Escobar. Two-two pitch. High, full count. Cole Calhoun, responsible for the big bases clearing double in the 3rd inning, is waiting on deck. And the payoff pitch to Escobar is swung on and hit foul down the left field line. Swung on and missed, got him on strikes, and that will retire the side. 96-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Hoffman. 7th inning stretch time. Let's listen to Corey Shembry and then see if the Rockies can get more than 2 hits in the bottom of the 7th.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old Ballgame.
Matt Kemp will lead off here in the bottom of the 7th. 0 for 2 on his day today. Strikeout and a ground out. 2 for 10 on the season. One of those hits a home run. That's how Kemp is starting off his Rockies tenure. Takes the pitch down and in, ball 1.
1-0.
And that's just a bit off the plate. 2-0. Madison Bumgarner is out for a 7th inning of work now at 88 pitches, so he's going to need some really quick innings if he wants to go the distance. Kemp takes the pitch that's called a ball. Bumgarner can't be too happy with some of the calls this inning. Ryan McMahon is waiting on deck. The leadoff walk would be a great way to start things off here for the Rockies offense in the bottom of the 7th. And the 3-0 to Kemp. That is in there for a called strike. Wasn't sure if the home plate umpire was going to go up with that right hand or not. Bumgarner into his motion. Windup and the 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed. So from 3-0, the count has gone full on Matt Kemp. Payoff pitch. Swung on and grounded right back to the mound. Bumgarner says, "Look what I found." Throws to first, 1 away.
The batter number 24, second baseman, Ryan.
Here's Ryan McMahon. He is 0 for 2 today. Struck out a couple times against Bumgarner. He will certainly be looking forward to potentially facing someone new. Bumgarner now at 92 pitches, almost assuring he will not have to go a full 9 in this one. Takes first pitch strike, does McMahon. Bumgarner's 0-1 is low and away, ball 1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Ryan McMahon will try to avoid the hat trick. Already struck out twice today. And 1-2 from Bumgarner is swung on and chopped foul. McMahon just staying alive. Swung on and hit in the air towards center field. Marte going back, and he will make a nice running catch running onto the track. McMahon puts the ball in play and actually hits it with some authority, but that is a loud out number 2.
The catcher, number 35,
Elias Diaz 0 for 2 on the day. Will get in at bat. Strikeout and a flyout for him. Slash line on the year 277, 320, 394. Most of his damage against left-handed pitching. Not today, though. Bumgarner has really put away a lot of Rockies hitters today. First pitch to Diaz is in for a called strike.
no ball, 1 strike.
That's inside corner. Not so sure about that one, but it's 0-2. Bumgarner certainly does not need the extra help today. 0-2 pitch coming to Diaz. And that one's going to be in the dirt. Pitch number 100 today for Bumgarner. We'll see if he comes out for an 8th. He's one of those guys who might be a little bit more willing to give a little bit more length to going over the century mark in terms of pitches, given how long he's been around the game, the experience he has. 1-2 pitch to Diaz is high. Count evens at 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Two pitch, swung on and grounded weakly foul down the third base line. Over to pick it up is Stu Cole. Gives it to a well-deserving fan in the stands. And one more time, a 2-2 to Diaz is low, full count. Pretty good plate appearance so far for Diaz. Brian Mundell waiting on deck. Payoff pitch, swung on and grounded foul the other way. Pretty lengthy plate appearance. Really racking up that pitch count is Elias Diaz. One more time, 3-2. Swung on and grounded towards first base. Crone will run to the bag, take it himself, and that'll retire the side. That's the end of the day for Bumgarner. He's pitched 7 really strong innings. Let's go to the 8th, 5-0 D-backs. Eighth inning, 5-0 Arizona. Here's Cole Calhoun, 1 for 3 with a bases clearing double in the 3rd inning against John Gray. Only hitting 173 on the year, slugging 337. You can get hits like that when it counts, though. He's valuable. Jeff Hoffman out for a 2nd inning of work. His first pitch is taken high, ball 1. Only 13,994 in attendance on this Purple Monday at Coors Field. 1-0 is swung on and chopped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. 8th inning, we'll check some more scores around baseball now. Pick it up after this 1-1 pitch from Hoffman. And it's swung on and fouled away. Again, not a full slate of baseball on this Monday. Rockies have played a few Mondays in a row now, though, after getting quite a few Mondays off to start the year. The 1-2 is swung on and lifted in the air towards center. Going back on this one is Tapia. He's got a long run for this. He's at the track looking up, and it's off the wall. Karams away from him. Calhoun will cruise into second base with a leadoff double here in the 8th. That's his 2nd double of the day and 9th double of the year. That one, fortunately, not coming with anyone on base. Brightich Barrier was able to keep that one from leaving the ballpark. Here's Kevin Crone, who, barrier or no barrier, the last ball he hit went a mile. 2 for 3 on the day with that home run. And takes a pitch high and tight, ball 1. Also a single, so 2 for 3 day in Crone's return to the big leagues. So scores around baseball. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 4-1. That is now a final. Just swinging a pop-up. Shallow center field long run for Tapia. He will get there to make the catch. And trying to advance to third base, trying to catch the Rockies. Napping is Calhoun, and pretty poor decision as he is thrown out. And now there are 2 away. Carson Kelly will bat to a walk in the 2nd inning. Not sure what Calhoun was thinking there. 5th inning, Angels have taken a 2-1 lead over the Tigers. David Fletcher with his 3rd home run of the year for LA. Mariners have taken a 2-1 lead over the Orioles. They're in the 5th. Pitches high and tight. 3-0 now on Kelly. Josh Rojas waiting on deck, hoping to get yet another opportunity. And that's in there for a called strike. Swung on, lifted in the air towards center field. Going back on this one is Tapia. He's got it in range. He'll put it away, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. See if Bumgarner returns. He's up over the 100 pitch mark. Rockies need some offense in the worst way. 5-0 D-backs. Brian Mundell leads off the bottom of the 8th. Madison Bumgarner's still out there. 0 for 2 on the day for Mundell. Strikeout and a pop-out. 3 for 17 on the season. It's a 176 batting average. Definitely some action up in the D-backs bullpen. Bumgarner starting his 8th inning at 105 pitches. Again, he's one of those guys with a lot more experience, so manager feeling a little bit more comfortable putting him out there, Torey Lovello, for an 8th inning of work up over the century mark in terms of pitches. First pitch to Brian Mundell is a strike. Not a whole lot of trouble at all today for Bumgarner. He's really breezed through the lineup. Hector Rondon and Junior Guerra are up in the bullpen for the Snakes. 0-1 pitch to Mundell is taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves beat the Pirates 8-1. That is a final. Mike Soroka the win for Atlanta. And Jameson Taillon the loss for Pittsburgh, his 5th loss. Soroka went 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and struck out 6. And that's about all in terms of scores around baseball. Again, a lot of teams getting the day off today. 2-2 pitch to Mundell is swung on and chopped foul at the dish. That's low when the count goes full. Josh Fuentes waiting on deck. Payoff pitch. Swung on and lifted in the air towards left field. That's going to hook foul to the seats. And one more time, 3-2 offering is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Mundell really trying to work up that pitch count. Elias Diaz did a good job of that in his previous at-bat as well. 114th pitch of the day coming from Bumgarner. We'll see how much longer he will go, and it's ball 4. He walked him. Good plate appearance for Brian Mundell to lead off the bottom of the 8th. And we're going to have a double switch now. Torey Lovello is out. That'll be the end of the day for Madison Bumgarner. Very strong start no matter how early he had to come out here in the 8th inning. New pitcher is going to be Hector Rondon, 19th game, 0-2 record, 16 innings, 22 strikeouts, 9 walks, 2.81 ERA. Lefties have hit him much better than righties.
Hector Rondon now playing first base and batting 9, number 53, Christian Walker.
Josh Fuentes has put the ball on the ground twice today for out, so he's 0 for 2. Rondon will come in with a runner on and nobody out. First pitch high to Fuentes. Rockies just pleased to see someone not named Madison Bumgarner out on the hill right now. The 1-0 from Rondon is swung on and fouled the other way. One pitch, swung on and grounded, fared on the left field line towards the corner. Mundell chugging into third base, and he will stop there. Runners on second and third now with nobody out, and we'll likely see a pinch hitter now for Jeff Hoffman. Daniel Murphy will step up to the plate. 271, 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in on the year. Again, he is only getting the day off today because of the lefty Bumgarner. Junior Guerra is still up in the D-backs bullpen, joined by Andrew Chafin. Murphy swings and pulls one foul. Got a slider there he might have been able to do some damage with, just a tad bit out in front of it. The 0-1 from Rondon is high, ball 1. 99-mile-an-hour fastball, lots of velocity to speak of from Rondon, former Cub, former Astros reliever. Signing with the Diamondbacks this offseason, Murphy swings, pops one foul and out of play. And swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, 1 down. Well, it would be very nice for the Rockies to score at least 1 run, if not 2. Here in the bottom of the 8th. So there doesn't have to be a lot of work to do in the bottom of the 9th. Here is Trevor Story now. Again, runner on third base with 1 out. Don't necessarily need a hit to score that run. Story swings and pops it up, though. Shortstop Domingo Leyba camping under it. He will make the catch, and there's 2 away. Bottom of the order was able to come through and get runners on second and third with nobody out, and Murphy and Story not able to bring them home. Strikeout and a weak pop-out, and that'll leave it up to Raimel Tapia 0 for 3 on his day. See, Bud Black is not happy necessarily in the Rockies dugout, saying, hey, this is a golden opportunity, guys. Don't see Bud Black get upset like that often. Ground out, Tapia's last time up. He was 0 for 3. It was in the 6th inning when he grounded out. And first pitch to Tapia is taken inside, ball 1. Good-looking changeup at 90 miles per hour from Rondon. 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike with a slider. Not the kind of opportunities you want to squander if you're the Rockies offense, as Tapia fouls one off, and from runners on second and third with nobody out, Diamondbacks are now just a strike away from getting out of this inning, not allowing any runs. Tapia swings and pulls one towards right field. This one's hit well, and that ball is gone. 3-run home run for Raimel Tapia, his first of the year. And that's going to make it a 5-3 ball game. Not letting this opportunity go to waste for the Rockies. .419 feet off the bat, 99.9 mile per hour exit velocity. Let's go ahead and round that up to 100 miles per hour. And he makes Hector Rondon pay with Brian Mundell and Josh Fuentes scoring ahead of him. And now here's Nolan Arenado. Could make this a 1-run ball game. He's 1 for 3 on the day. And he takes first pitch strike. 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Arenado, base hit his first time up in this game back in the first inning. 1066. His very solid OPS on the year. 0-1 to Arenado is going to miss low. Rockies very pleased to see someone other than Madison Bumgarner, who was absolutely cruising today. And Mundell, who he walked, the run's going to be charged to him. Just 1 run, 2 runs charged to Rondon. But Bumgarner certainly pitched well enough, and I think maybe if he had stayed in there for the rest of this inning, he wouldn't have allowed any runs. But, well, the ERA will just have to suffer a tiny little bit. I think it won't even hit 3, though. Matt Kemp waiting on deck. 3-1 to Arenado is high. Ball 4. He walked him. Rockies will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Matt Kemp, who homered in yesterday's ballgame for his first homer as a Rocky. Kemp is 0 for 3 on the day today, and he's going to face a new pitcher named Andrew Chafin. 31st appearance, 4.07 ERA in 24 and a third innings, 28 strikeouts, 9 walks. Righties batting .286 against him. Let's see, 5 blown saves on the year for Chafin. He's going to try to get one with 4 outs here. And Matt Kemp grounded out in the 7th inning just an inning ago. 2 for 11 to start his Rockies career. And he will face a lefty named Andrew Chafin. First pitch to Kemp is taken on the inside part of the inside corner. Kemp with a look back. 0-1 the count. That one's high, ball 1. Kemp, plenty of experience playing against the Diamondbacks, whether it was for the Dodgers or for the Padres, and now for the Rockies. So, Giants and D-backs maybe in his future. Otherwise, they'll be saying, hey, why not us? The 1-1 is going to miss outside, and it is now a hitter's count on Matt Kemp, again representing the potential tying run at the plate for the Rockies. Big 3-run home run for Raimel Tapia got the Rockies on the board here in the bottom of the 8th. Chafin comes set. His 2-1 delivery is just a bit inside, 3-1. Ryan McMahon waiting on deck. And low ball 4, he walked him. Rockies will bring the go-ahead run to the plate, tying run on base now, Matt Kemp. Chafin comes in and gives up the walk to Kemp. Ryan McMahon 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts against Bumgarner. His last time up, though, hit one on the screws to center field. Was a nice running catch for Ketel Marte. Garrett Hampson's going to pinch run at first base for Kemp. And here we have Ryan McMahon. Line out, as we mentioned, in that 7th inning. Looking to get that batting average above 244. He is certainly due, I would say. And he really likes facing left-handed pitching. Reverse splits in his career. First pitch is swung on and fouled off. McMahon only batting 178 with runners in scoring position. Has come through with some big home runs with men on base, though. His 0-1, Chafin's 0-1 is in there for a called strike, and it is quickly 0-2 on McMahon, trying to avoid striking out for the 3rd time in today's ball game. Chafin from the stretch is 0-2 to McMahon, is low ball 1. One-two pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes, and that will retire the side. Raimel Tapia, 3-run home run, his first of the year, has put the Rockies on the board. We're through 8. It's 5-3 Diamondbacks. Garrett Hampson will remain in the ballgame in right field. He pinch ran from Matt Kemp there in the bottom of the 8th after Kemp drew a walk. We have a new pitcher. His name is Joe Harvey. Just called up today and already getting some action. 12th game of the year. 8 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts and a walk. That looks pretty good, right? Not so much the 13.50 ERA and batting average over 400 against him. Josh Rojas, first batter he will face. Harvey, very good numbers in AAA at his ERA under 2. Rojas 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch is swung on and pulled foul. Over at The Athletic, Nick Grote came up with 10 questions facing the Rockies as they return to Coors Field for training camp. Number 1, can training camp happen safely while a pandemic spikes? Of course, Charlie Blackmon, the only one we know of not able to be ready to start on time. Of course, and a few states across the country, coronavirus hitting record numbers on the daily now. Nobody's in a really good position right now as Harvey gets Rojas to strike out. State of New York has been doing a pretty good job of getting things under control, but still not necessarily sure that they are ready for Major League Baseball in that healthy of a situation, but we're all in the same boat. General Manager Jeff Bridich said there are a lot of people to be commended in Colorado for handling these weird times as well as they have. The combination of leadership, hospitals, everybody involved on the front lines, and the people of Colorado who are taking it seriously and managing a difficult situation very well. But Bridich says that he's feeling pretty good about the safety in the state of Colorado. But the total number of positive cases and the overall infection rates have doubled in Colorado over the last 2 weeks. It's according to the state's Department of Public Health and Environment. But infections are spiking more rapidly in other parts of the country. Really troubling trends in Florida, Texas, Arizona, Southern California, Oklahoma. There's a pitch inside. Hitters count now on Christian Walker, who came in as part of a double switch with Kevin Crone when Bumgarner came out of the ballgame. Unfortunately, a lot of those are hot spots where the Rockies will be going this season. Astros, Rangers in Texas, Angels, Padres, Dodgers in California, and Diamondbacks in Arizona. And those 3 California teams are in Southern California as well. There's been a bit of a struggle as of late. And Rockies this year will be playing the rest of their division as well as teams in the representative opposing league, the AL West. That's how it's going to be for all teams, all leagues. NL West plays AL West, and etc. Breitich said the playing of games should not trump the health and safety of anybody in this country. That's the fine line that they're walking and the needle they're trying to thread. It's a pitch inside to Walker, full count. Question number 2, will any of this really work? Nobody really knows. Rockies will be sending a group of players to MSU Denver for pitching defense drills. Question number 3, how will we even know, as there's a fly ball to shallow center coming in as Tapia. He'll get there to make the catch for the out, number 2. A joint statement released Friday that 31 players had tested positive for COVID-19 along with some staff members, but those are misleading results. The results came from initial intake testing that began Monday and concluded Wednesday. Blackman, for instance, has not yet arrived for intake testing, so he is not even included in those results. Neither are, I don't believe, it shouldn't be Castellani and Deal either, because they tested positive before the intake testing. There are also 2 teams that just straight up didn't complete their testing nor receive results, so certainly all players not accounted for. So question number 4, how do the players and coaches feel? Bud Black said, eager to put baseball pants on. Great deal of excitement. Players feel great, most of them at least physically, so that's a good start. Question number 5, when and where will the Rockies start the season? We are awaiting the release of the schedule. Hopefully very soon that one will be released. Pitch misses low to Tim LaCastro. Hitters count on him. Season is set to start regular season July 23 or 24. Mike Hazen, GM for the Diamondbacks, said that his team is going to be starting in an open-air stadium, so that is not going to be Phoenix. Fly ball shallow center field. Tapia coming in. He'll make the catch. Good return to the big leagues for Joe Harvey. Picks up a 1-2-3 ninth inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth. 5-3 Diamondbacks. It'll be Diaz, Mundell, and Fuentes due up for the Rockies. Elias Diaz leads off the bottom of the ninth, 0 for 3 on the day, batting .275. 5-3 Diamondbacks. Andrew Chafin trying to pick up a 4-out save, and pitch is called a ball, and Chafin not sure where that one missed. 1-0 on Diaz. Rockies were originally supposed to play opening day in San Diego before the season was delayed. We shall see. Black is trying to set up some exhibition games for the Rockies immediately before the season starts. They could face a new opening day opponent, or could start in Southern California and see the Padres, Dodgers, and Angels all on one trip. Diaz grounds it foul. Could host the D-backs, play an exhibition game before a real series started. They scrimmage against each other all the time during spring training at their shared facility in Scottsdale. In other words, Rockies don't know when and where their season will start. Black says he hasn't seen a schedule. He asked media if they had, and they have not either, of course. Yeah, not all teams, I don't think, are going to be participating in exhibition action. We shall see. If the Rockies are part of that, Diaz draws a walk to lead things off here in the bottom of the ninth. Of course, part of that intra-squad scrimmages we saw on Saturday afternoon, a very scary sight. Masahiro Tanaka was hit by a line drive off the bat of his teammate Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees, so he had to be removed from that game and taken to the hospital, but he was released. He said he's doing as good as he can be in that situation. I want to quickly finish this up. Question number 6, how will the lineup shake up? The plan was for it to be 1 through 4 of Dahl, Story, Blackman, Arenado, which is pretty much what we have done here. Probably we're going to go with Daniel Murphy as number 5. Also, there is Matt Kemp, Ryan McMahon, Raimel Tapia, Tony Wolters seeming likely, with some adjustments and platoons possible. Ian Desmond's spot is question number 7. That's probably going to go towards Matt Kemp. There's a ground ball, base it into left field. And the tying runs are on base with nobody out now. Rockies have not walked off yet this year. This could be the time. Question number 8 from Nick Groke. What are their chances this season? Groke says not bad. You know, a whole lot of things can happen in a 60-game season. Rockies are 31-29 last season through 60 games. Will any prospects break through? Brendan Rodgers, potentially. Sam Hilliard, we'll see what he can do. Jonathan Dosla figures into the mix. Don't think Ryan Rollison will pitch in the majors this year, but he will certainly have a spot to look at. And he's on the player pool. And final question, how will a pitching staff be built on short notice? Piggybacking. Again, we're looking at a five-man rotation. Marquez, Gray, Freeland, Senzatella, and either Chichi Gonzalez or Jeff Hoffman. But, you know, starting off with a 30-man roster, one of them could make the roster as a long man. Ground ball hit towards third to second for one, back to first, and that is a double play grounded into by Josh Fuentes, and they're two away. Big momentum killer right there against Andrew Chafin, and that is going to bring the get rid of the tying run on base. Still a runner at third. The tying run still coming to the plate. Now there's two outs, so a lot less to work with. Sam Hilliard is going to pinch hit. Lefty on lefty matchup for him, 248 average, 9 home runs, 880 OPS for Hilliard. First pitch is swung on and ripped towards first base. Fair ball, taking it himself is Walker, and that'll retire the side. Pretty anticlimactic ninth inning, and final score today, Arizona Diamondbacks 5, Colorado Rockies 3. Rockies, pretty nice start to their bottom of the ninth inning, but not able to bring anybody home. We'll see you tomorrow night when Jack Wincoop makes his big league debut in the simulation for the Rockies. Madison Bumgarner, very good day at the plate. Not at the plate, but on the mound today. Sometimes he has pretty good days at the plate, but he will certainly, I think, acquire player of the game honors. We shall see. There's Wincoop. Andrew Chafin picking up the save. So Bumgarner 10-4 on the year with the win. Gray moves to 2-8 with the loss, so he didn't pitch all that poorly. And 24th save of the year for Chafin. For the Diamondbacks, 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Rockies, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Madison Bumgarner is the player of the game. He comes out for the 8th, but goes 7 scoreless innings, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. That run was on the 3-run home run by Raimel Tapia, and the first run was a leadoff walk to Brian Mundell that Bumgarner gave up to start the 8th inning, so that run charged to him. Otherwise, 2 walks on the day for Bumgarner. Very good day for him. He gets player of the game honors. Not a poorly pitched ball game in a lot of ways for John Gray. 5 innings, does walk 5 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, only gives up 3 runs. Andrew Chafin gets 4 outs for the save, an inning and a third, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Highlights an offense for the Diamondbacks. Kevin Crone goes 2 for 4 in his return to the big leagues. First time he's appeared in MLB in 2020 with a home run. Cole Calhoun goes 2 for 4 with a bases clearing double. Also added another double to his day. Ketel Marte 3 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Tim LeCastro 1 for 5 with a triple and a run scored. Highlights for the Rockies offense, of course, the big hit today. Raimel Tapia goes 1 for 4 with his first home run of the year, a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. Josh Fuentes goes 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Trevor Story has a walk, and Nolan Arenado 1 for 3 with a walk as well. Well, thank you for tuning in today, and we will see you tomorrow for the Sim MLB debut of Jack Wincoop. Thank you for tuning in.